Okay, hello. You didn't expect me, did you? Okay. If you don't recognize me yet, yes, if you remember me from the channel Exotica Spotters Bandung, yes, I'm the presenter, but I'm not presenting as I am in my own channel. I'm talking about other stuff that I really like, and there'll be a lot of it. And today we'll be looking at this one. What is it? Ah, there you are. What is it? The Geological Museum of Bandung. Okay. Anyway, since I don't know a lot more comfortable presenting this in English, so I think I'm going to present this one in English. There will be subtitle below, but just tell me if you want it to present in English or something like that. I personally prefer using English, but yeah. There'll be subtitle if you don't understand English. There'll be subtitle, you can keep on watching. Okay. First, just as an appetizer, I think that was supposed to be a Tyrannosaurus, but number one, it's a bit small for Tyrannosaurus Rex. And number two, it suffered a lot from the old problems of restoring Tyrannosaurus Rex. Shrink wrapping, the head's a little bit too big, the hands are pronated. Yeah. But anyway, I didn't expect people to really understand about that. And yeah, as something for kids to see, that I think it's fine, I guess. Okay. So let us not waste our time. Let's see what's inside the museum. So a little bit of not so fun news because of limitation, well, of how many people can get in. You know, we're still in pandemic and whatnot. There's a limit on how many people can enter. We're currently at 560. My number 628. Holy shit! Guys, I still have to wait about around 60 to 17 slots. Oh my god. I guess we'll wait. There are so many people out there. Look at that. So many people are waiting. So many people are waiting for the turn. Including me, obviously. Anyway, while we're waiting, there is a replica, a skeleton of a stegodon, a kind of prehistoric elephant. I'm not really into my evolution of elephant. Allegedly, this is one of the most complete skeleton found in the Bengawan Solo site. This is just a replica. This is not the real. It's not the real deal. It's actually stored on the special warehouse. Unfortunately, I would still have to wait. So yeah, we're waiting. So a little bit of a correction. Turns out this thing right here, that you see here, is not actually a stegodon. It's actually a kind of Asian elephant. It's an Elephas maximus instead of the usual stegodon or mastodon. So yeah, that was unexpected. One thing that I did not expect, however, is that it's actually quite big. Modern day Asian elephant don't grow this big. Okay, so that's quite a surprise for me. Just to show you how, just to show you how illiterate I am about my elephants. Not really into elephants. Probably we're going to fare better with something like dinosaur or fish, but we'll see. Okay. So this is the elephant in question. This was found in Blora. It's supposed to be an Asian elephant, but much bigger than a modern day Asian elephant. Now, if you want to know the difference between an African and an Asian elephant, it's actually quite easy. In the flesh, it will be much easier. African elephant got bigger ears. They got bigger ears. Asian elephant got smaller ears. But the skeletal difference is mostly shown through here. Okay, see that hump? African elephant doesn't have that. Okay, African elephant just goes straight. Like so. If I remember correctly, the lineage between Loxodonta, African, and Asian, the alphas, actually differs quite early in the lineage. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I think you can refer to the Geologi's video if you want to know more about elephant. So, this might look very weird to you. I mean, one of the tasks is very rustic, very much botched with all those patterns. The other one is very smooth. Now, you might be wondering, why is that? Well, the one on your left, right here, this one is actually a cast. It's actually a direct cast from the original fossil. The other one is actually just inferred from, well, it's actually inferred from a modern animal. This is a pretty common practice if you want to create a more complete skeleton, more articulate skeleton. But this particular Asian elephant skeleton is one of the most well articulated of Asian elephant fossils. About around 80% of it is found on the site at Blora, if I remember correctly. So yeah, they're pretty. The Geological Museum is pretty proud of this collection, and rightly so. You don't often find a very well articulated skeleton of an elephant unless you're living in Russia, where you're going to find a mammoth, a mummy of a mammoth. But that's actually a rare occurrence, so yeah, I'm not expecting it to happen here. So, okay. So yeah, let's wait until the gate is open, and then we're going to see the rest of the collection. Mostly on the geology, an actual geology. So this part of the museum talks mostly about the formation of the earth and how rocks are formed and everything like that. Now, if you're interested in the real earth science, an actual earth science, this would be the place of your dream, and how the earth was formed and all that stuff. I'm personally not a geology kind of person, even though I used to enter Earth Science Olympics during my high school days. But yeah, that was a long time ago, so I'm pretty sure I forgot about it. So this diagram here explains why Indonesia is full of volcanoes and why we are so prone of earthquakes. I mean, if you look at this diagram, okay, if you look at this, okay, there's a fault right there. There's a fault right there. There, the orange line here, right there. You see? That's where all the earthquake potentials are in. But volcanoes, on how volcanoes are formed. Yeah. Here we are. Morphology. This is how the Indonesian archipelago was formed during the olden days, with the continental shelf shifts all over the place. This is geological structure in Indonesia. Yeah, but well, I'm not into my rocks, but so yeah. This one's a little bit more interesting. As you can see, there are ammonites right there. The ancestor of the Nautiluses. Those are ammonites. But we're going to talk about that later on in the natural history part of the museum. Absolutely good. So there's a library right there. There's a library back there. I'm really interested. I want to see the collection in the library. Unfortunately, the library is closed during the pandemic, so we can't see the book collection here. That's a shame. I'm such a fan of literature like that. So yeah, gotta live with that. Okay. This one is quite a dark room. Metaphorically speaking, okay? Because this is where we're going to talk about the disaster, geological disaster. As you know, Indonesia has lots and lots of volcanoes. And sometimes those volcanoes went boom. So yeah. This shows you the benefit of this geological stuff, okay? All those metals are built that turn into all this kind of item that you have. Look, I think it's for 50 days. Not that far off from my own camera that I usually use to take photos of cars. And this one, for example, this one is 700p. Unfortunately, one volcano went bust, and they went boom. They tend to be rather terrifying. This is an example. This was retrieved from the site of Mount Merapi during the disaster. I forgot. What was it? I forgot. When it went bust? 2005? If I remember correctly. Hang on a second. This is about Krakatoa. Yeah. I think it was 2005, if I remember correctly. 2007. If any of you remember when Merapi went bust, please do write in the comment section. I forgot. So yeah, that is the devastating effect of a volcano. Yeah, a somber reminder that despite Indonesia being quite a rich country in terms of natural resources, they can be pretty deadly as well. Yeah. Next up is, well, just the resources basically. I'll be honest with you. I'm not into resources. I'm not a capitalist. I don't like selling minerals like this. But I do acknowledge the importance most of the time. But I guess I shall pass this one. I guess I'm going to pass this one because afterwards the last part, well, the last part is to me the most exciting part in this museum. So let's go. This is my favorite bit, a life history. How was your becoming a paleontologist? Ah, yes. So, where do we start? This is stromatolites, an early example of living being. They don't look like one, but they actually are. Anyway, this shows you exactly how life started. Of which life starts is in the Cambrian explosion. Okay. So this is a replica of a silicon. Okay. species of coelacanth. The first one was discovered in Komoro, called Latimeria chalumnae. Indonesian species called the Latimeria menadoensis was found in, if I remember, in 1996. If I remember, 1996 or 1997. It was quite a surprise that we found coelacanth in Indonesia. Yeah. These are the fossils of plants. Brilliant. It is. That's a primitive starfish right there. Brittle star actually. That's another ammonite, and that. Hang on, Discosauruscus. What is it? I think Discosauruscus is a kind of. That's a kind of. That's a kind of amphibian. Yeah, that's a kind of amphibian. So, trilobite, one of the Earth's history success story. They exploded into many kinds of forms after the Cambrian, and then they went bust during the Permian period. I really don't adapt that much. These are ammonites. I know. Behind me, there are more ammonites. This is a Pachydiscus, and this is a Perisphinctis. This is Perisphinctis, Erythites, Bucklandii. So this is a replica of a fossil found in Sönhofen, in Germany. But what we don't have here is a fossil of Parapusius yosephrenradensis, the biggest ammonite ever. With a shell diameter of almost 2 meters, almost 2 meters, 2.5 meters, I forgot. They're pretty huge, actually. There's another sediments full of ammonites and belemnites. So, if you take a look at this, you look at this shell, okay? There's a shell of belemnites. The belemnites are, if you look at belemnites today, if belemnites were alive today, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between it and an actual squid, okay? They're pretty similar actually. So yeah. After this, yeah, we're going to see more on that part later on. But I guess I'll be taking some photos first, because I've got thumbnails to make. So, this, I think, is the crowning jewel of this museum. It's an actual fossil. No, it's not an actual fossil. This is actually a replica of a fossil of a Tyrannosaurus rex. Now, you would be fooled into thinking that Tyrannosaurus is the biggest predator of all time. Well, actually, the title of the biggest predator has been taken by Spinosaurus, but Spinosaurus eats fish. Tyrannosaurus eats another dinosaur, basically. They don't coexist, however. Tyrannosaurus live in the later stage of Maastrichtian age, in the late Cretaceous period, and they live in North America, whilst the Spinosaurus, I think, in the earlier stage of the early Cretaceous, 96 million years ago, and they live in Africa. So they don't really ever met. So any notion that Spinosaurus and Tyrannosaurus can meet and have a battle is absolutely bonkers. It's not happening, okay? So, yeah, I think in Indonesia, this is the only museum to exhibit an articulated skeleton replica of a Tyrannosaurus. So yeah, that's pretty rare. Other than that, we also have a replica of a Pterodactylus anticus. This is, if I remember correctly, this is the holotype specimen found in Sönhofen. The holotype specimen of the Pterodactylus. But if I'm wrong, please correct me once again. I'm just an amateur paleontologist. I'm not an expert. I'm not really an expert. I'm just a big fan of paleontology, so I just know what I know. Okay. But this one is the Archaeopteryx, the early bird, or as German would call it, the Urvogel. So yeah, this was the first evidence that dinosaurs do possess the skeleton. Okay, dinosaurs possess feathers. Now, it's a view that most of you might not really like, that dinosaurs have feathers. I mean, try imagining a Tyrannosaurus with feathers. Okay. I don't think you were going to like it, but there is a possibility that Tyrannosaurus probably do have some feather. Well, maybe the younger individual do have feathers. The bigger one, well, the bigger one don't tend to have feathers because they can maintain their own body temperature easier than the younger individual. So yeah, the jury's still out. But yeah, I'm firmly in the camp that some dinosaurs do have feathers. Okay, so yeah, this is a fossil of a Stenopterygius. I'm not. Hang on a second. Yeah, apparently this is Stenopterygius. There's a replica of a fossil found in. Is it in Solnhofen or is it in Lyme Regis? I forgot. But it's a European ichthyosaur. So if you don't know what the ichthyosaur is, well, imagine a dolphin. Imagine a dolphin. But reptilian. It's confusing, I know, but I'm going to show you the image of how an ichthyosaur would look like in the flesh. So it is. And then you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? It is weird. It is quite weird. Okay? I wish I could see more of the ichthyosaur fossil right here. But I think they do have it here. Now, this was called Ichthyosaurus ceramensis. But I've heard the suggestion that this was actually not an ichthyosaur, but it's actually a type of mosasaur. It's actually a type of globidens. A Durophagous mosasaur. The jury's still out. I still need to take a closer look at this. So yeah, any of you who knows more about this thing, please tell me more about it. Okay? Yeah. Fans of shellfish would absolutely love this. This diagram here shows you the separation and another separation, where and how each of these mollusks live. Okay. So of course we have land mollusks like your normal snail and all that stuff. So from the mangrove, the river, the surf zone, the shallow water, including Tridacna, giant clams, and the strombus, which is usually known as trident. Okay. Strombus latissimus. It's a tun shell. So this is intermediate shell. This is the outer shell. You might recognize this. This is cone shell. Do not try to touch this shell whenever you find it in the sea. When you're roaming the coast, do not touch this. Okay? These are deadly. These are venomous. They're dangerous. So yeah, be careful. And then of course we have the nautilus. Currently, the only cephalopod that is members of squids and octopuses that live with shells. That here, there is an Argonaut. Argonaut is not an octopus. Argonaut is actually not a nautilus. Argonaut, where is it? Where is it? Hang on a second. Where is it? Damn it, where is it? Ah, there you go. Argonaut is actually a member of octopus. Those shells you see right here, okay? Those shells, they're papery shells. Those shells are used to protect the eggs. The female create those eggs to protect the eggs, and then when the eggs are hatched, the female dies, and this is what's left. Come on, focus. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. And this is called top shell. Gorgeous shell, is it? That's your usual scallop. The thing that you absolutely love on your base. Okay. These are more primitive gastropods. Okay. Ooh, and these are fish fossils. These are fish Dinos. Not sure what sort of species they are. The Pangasius. Hang on a second. That's a catfish. It's supposed to be catfish. It's supposed to be catfish. And this one is a knifefish, locally known as bleeder. Unfortunately, currently the giant knifefish is declared extinct, which is a bit sad. Protosygnathus, which means this should be some sort of pipefish. Athenectes, another Athenectes. Protosygnathus, Oreoceropteryx, Barbus megalocephalus. This is a kind of barb. This is a kind of barb, a cyprinid. And then there's this. This is the wrong name. This should not be called Carcharodon megalodon. This should be called Otodus megalodon. Current scientists do agree that we shouldn't call it a Carcharodon. They're not actually related to great white shark. They're actually a part of a member of an extinct lamniform called Otodontidae. So the valid name is either Carcharodon megalodon or, more recently, Otodus megalodon. Okay? So yeah. Hang on a second. No. This is not the teeth from a megalodon. This is a Squalicorex teeth. This is a teeth from Squalicorex. This is teeth from Squalicorex, and this, I think this is Notidanodon. So this I think is from a 6-gill or a 7-gill shark. From a type of 6-gill or 7-gill shark. Yeah. It's also quite rare. A fossilized shark spine. That's because shark skeletons are made out of cartilage. Cartilage don't fossilize. So to have one like this is pretty rare. Hopefully it doesn't make it up. But yeah, if it really is, it's a pretty rare occurrence. Amazing. That is a Heliobatis. That is a very rare example of ray fossils. Like sharks, rays are made out of cartilage. So to see one fossilized like this, it requires some sort of perfect fossilization environment, like the one in Sonhofen. They're called Lagerstätte. Do we have Lagerstätte here? Oh, it's from Wyoming. So there is some freshwater Lagerstätte in Wyoming. Okay. Yeah. There you go. This is some fossilized plants. Which turn into marble. I think I'm going to need one for my kitchen. Yeah. Fish fossils. I do kind of wish we have more exhibition on, I don't know, marine reptiles, mosasaur, ichthyosaur, plesiosaur like that. I wish we do have more of that, but probably they're pretty difficult to find, and most people were interested in big dinosaurs rather than ichthyosaurs, really. Which is a shame, but that's a fact of life. There are more fossils right here. Okay? This is a Stegodon trigonocephalus. Another kind of extinct elephant. This is not related to any modern elephant whatsoever. So both the Stegodon and mastodons are extinct lineage. You can't find the modern relatives right now. Okay? They're pretty ancient. So this is the lower jaw of an Asian elephant. Okay? And this is a Stegodon florensis. This was a dwarf form of Stegodon found in forest. And this is something special, but we're going to discuss it later on the other exhibition. There is something that I want to show you. It's very interesting. If you're into human evolution, this is going to be something that you really want to see. Let's relate it to this. Okay, so this is an example of teeth. This is a molar tooth. This is a molar tooth. This is a molar tooth of Stegodon. Stegodoxodon. This is the skull of an orangutan. Pongopegnius is orangutan. This is, I think this is a macaque, a Macaca fascicularis. I think this is a normal macaque. Okay. I'm not sure. They they say this piece right here is dominated by teeth from orangutan, a fossilized teeth of orangutan. I don't know whether that's related. These are the buffalo. I'm not into my artiodactyls, except when we're talking about whales. But we're not talking about whales here. We don't have any whale fossils right here. Okay? Pigs. Cerebushiris. Come on, focus. Focus. Thank you. I'm into my deer. But I am definitely into my crocodiles. I think this is a Tomistoma. It's a Japhialis. It's a gharial. It's a primitive type of gharial. Actually, Indonesia still do have a species of gharial. Although they call it the false gharial, Tomistoma schlegeli. It's actually closer to gharial than it is to crocodile. Unknown species of crocodile. There's ossifragus. Some sort of cat, I think. A tiger, a big cat, I do believe. There's a rhino. Definitely a rhino. Oh, queen. Some sort of giant tortoise. Megalochelys. I think this is about around as big as a Stupendemis from Brazil. While this one is about around as big as the current giant tortoise, is Megalochelys. And yes, back in the past, we used to have our own hippopotamus, very closer to a pygmy hippo. This is a bit more profound. This is the room we're going to find out the story of us, the story of human. So this is a reconstruction of Homo erectus. Homo erectus probably was the first type of hominid to arrive in Asia, even though the cradle of humanity actually starts in Africa, in Ethiopia. This is where it all began. Australopithecus, the ape that walked on 2 feet. Where it all started. Erectus, all the way to basically us, the Homo sapiens. But this one here, this one right here is the one that I want to show you. The one that we talked about previously. This is Homo floresiensis. Now, when it was first found, paleontologists thought that this was a kid. They were wrong. This was an adult human being. And this is what they call an example of what they called the insula, dwarfism. Since they were found in forest is a small island, and there are limited resources right there. And because the resources are limited, animals must adapt. One way to adapt for that limited resources is to grow smaller. Which is why Homo floresiensis, unlike most other hominins, are short and small. Much like the stegodon that we saw earlier. Unlike any other elephant, they're actually pretty small. That is how they managed to adapt to these limited resources. This might not going to make sense for most of us humans because humans are very adaptable. But without this technology, with the technology that we have today, that's the only way they should adapt. So yeah, these are just some display on how we assume primitive human lived, although I am a firm believer that there are more to primitive life than just hunt or be hunted. A lot more to it than that. They have social life and all that stuff. And unfortunately, those aspects are rarely explored. Most paleo artists these days, however, do explore on that aspect of paleo life. showing the recreation of paleontological life in prehistory in a more now I'm not saying human, in a more normal manner. Dinosaurs sleeping, dinosaurs taking care of the children, primitive human taking care of each other. So yeah, this is the artifact of tools used by early humans. So the advantage of us having these 3 arms like this, like this one you see here, is that we can manipulate our world to our likings. That's why early humans create this kind of tool, really. There's all sorts of tools made from stones, really. You might think this looks antiquated, this looks weird and useless. But back in the day, they're advanced technologies. They're the equivalent of iPhone today. So just to show you how much back then this is a very advanced technology. Then we have this early form of mortar and pestle. And later, when we can finally manipulate metals, forging metals, this is what we end up with. So yeah, that is the history of human evolution, I think. Including these bones of a python, obviously. And this bone of a cow. So yeah. That I think is it. That concludes the exhibition of the Geological Museum of Bandung. And we're going to talk about it more once we are out of the exhibition and back on the field. See you later on. Okay, so we're out. We're from the museum. Right here. Arthur, and the museum is just closed. They're only available from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So they're pretty short, a short space of time, unfortunately. But yeah, that's fine by me. I think it's okay. What do I think about the Geological Museum? People should go more to the museum. People always think that museums are boring, it's just pretty dull. No. Absolute twaddle. Absolute twaddle. Museums are exciting. People should go to museum more. You learn a lot from here. I of course learn a lot because I'm a fan of paleontology. And I hope I can make more paleontology related content in the future. But yeah. Of course, this is not my first time going here. I've been visiting this museum since I was a kid. I always enjoyed my visit. But it would not be my last time visiting this one. Hopefully in the future, if I got a kid, maybe I'm going to take them here as well. So yeah, that is it from me. Hope you enjoy this paleontological content. What do you want to see in the future? Just let me know in the comments below. I hope I can make more features like this regarding natural history, science and all that stuff in the future. So I'm going to sign off from here. See you on the next video. Bye bye.